It is, man. What it is, what it ain't. It's your boy K Nice here. Do what you can, and you do what you can. So tonight, man, I'm waiting on some other people to jump on. Again, y'all know I had a little technical difficulties before, but I'm back on it. I'll jump on it myself until somebody else decides to jump in and give their opinion, they 3 cents, they 2 cents, whatever it is. But tonight, man, I just wanted to talk about that duality of the street life, which we always try to glorify and be in, and it's an easy way to go into, then having that stability of that home life and that straight path per se. So like I said, I'll talk to myself until somebody else jump in and get a 2 cents, 3 cents, whatever. But for me, I'll give my own experiences. Everybody got a story to tell. I'm just telling mine, and I can't. Nobody can tell it like I can tell it. You dig what I'm saying? But transitioning from it's like a high risk lifestyle that you live in. And transitioning from that to stability can be hard for some and easy for others, if you dig what I'm saying. It's all in how you want to live your life and what do you deem successful and what do you deem unsafe or safe. You dig what I'm saying? So your ill-gotten gains that you get from that street life, it comes fast, man. I'm telling you. Um, like I said, I can go and give you my story on what happened to me and what I did. A lot of people that know me know I grew up in a Christian home. Knew I grew up with a pastor as a father, first lady as a mom. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really know me like you think you know me. I've been a lot of places. I've seen a lot of things, and I done a lot of things. You dig what I'm saying? I done rubbed some two nickels together before, and I done rubbed thousands of dollars, in the palms of these hands. If you dig, they said my hands itching, man. Somebody talking about some money you did, and wherever that money was, I was trying to be right there. And through that situation, I dabbled in stuff that I didn't have no business dabbling in. I shouldn't have been dabbling in, but I did whatever I thought I was big enough to do and went where I thought I was big enough to go. So, like I said, if you just joining me or you tapping in, I'm talking about the dualities of the street life and the home life. How those scales, sometimes go like this and sometimes go like that. And man, I'm telling you, um, we think it's rewards, from the I'm gonna just talk about, excuse me, I'm gonna talk about the street life first on this side. Um, no, I better start on the other side because that's where I started from. I grew up in a two-parent home. My mom and dad worked. Um, we wasn't poor. We had a good living, born on the south side, Lima, Ohio. You did what I'm saying. Um, Grew up where my dad was making good money, working at Standard Oil. We had a Park Avenue. We had two Cadillacs. You know what I'm saying? One year we even bought a Ford Aerostar van. Look it up. Back in them days in the 80s, we got it off the showroom floor. They opened up the doors. You did what I'm saying, and drove it out. You know what I'm saying, to my parents. So we was doing pretty good. We was living the dream, I guess you could say. And then we moved here where I'm at now, and we still was doing good. My dad was working construction, and my dad was working at a factory here, a well-known factory here. My mom was working there too, and we grew up pretty good, man. Going to church, stable home, had nice clothes, but that will lead into, that's where it starts to lead into me as a teenager, you know, wanting to venture off, and because I'm seeing the profits of what ill-gotten gains get you. And I had some of the biggest examples of how to get down in the streets, if you dig what I'm saying. Um, I don't like saying no names. I'll just say my uncles. My uncles was getting it out there, man. They was really getting it. And man, when I tell you the stuff I seen and the stuff I experienced, man, you wouldn't believe me. But at a time, it was a free for all. You know, everything has its start. You know what I mean? And at the beginning stages of stuff, it's just like waterfalls, man. The money, the cars, the people, the girls, whatever it may be, is just a waterfall of action at all times. And I got a taste of it when we used to visit, you know, in the summers and stuff, and see my uncles. They was doing their thug thizzle, you know. I was like, man, I want a gold chain like that. I want a car like that, man. I want shoes like that, man. Where you get that leather jacket at? Full leather, you know what I'm saying? So I started seeing the attributes of what that type of life could get you and how fast it could get you, if you dig what I'm saying. And I was like, man, I had the sparkle in my eye. Once I seen it, I had the sparkle in my eye. And, you know, time passed, you know, went back home and stuff. And like I say, when I was like maybe 17 and a half, I said, okay, I want to do what I see them do. And, you know, I had a girlfriend at the time, you know, she wifey now, but still, she would told me, she said, if you get out there and you start selling, I'm not going to be your woman. And I wanted her so bad that I was willing to put that off. But I'm, like I said, in the back of my mind, I said, I want to do that, man, just to see if I can do it and to get the ill-gotten gains from it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, time passed on, time passed on. I'm skipping, you know, I'm telling my story, so I'm skipping ahead. But I say I don't want to give an age, because a lot of people that know me, um, you know, people put pieces together and stuff. But when I started on a humbug. And I say a humbug because I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to say and do like everybody else. So when I started my official street life, um, I got taught a real good lesson by somebody real close to me. Um, I started off with the Mary, 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 Mary Jane. You dig what I'm saying? The weed. I started with the weed. And I had a little hookup because I was up in Anna. I was doing, you know, the cars up there and stuff. At a friend of mine's, he had a shop up there, and he was doing the rims and tires and stuff of the truckers that come up there. So we'd be up there going, you know, going at and making a few dollars on that, but we wasn't making that much, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I had a little hookup come through. He was like, you know, I get my weed from here, and he had some good weed. And mind you, y'all, it's not my life that I'm living now. Please understand that if you're watching this. I'm giving you the dualities of and the mind frame of this living in the street life and living that good life and that home life and that straight life. So don't take it as I'm bragging or what is he doing talking about that? Watch the whole video before you judge what I'm saying. Put the pieces together before you understand what I'm saying. You dig what I'm saying? But anyways, so like I was saying, he had some good weed, and I was buying weed from him, and I was smoking every day. I'm like, man, this dude, because that's how my mind thinks. I don't like doing nothing from someone else. I like to get my own. So I'm like getting this dude to talk. I'm like, man, that's some good stuff, man. Where do you get that stuff from? And people like to brag. So he started bragging on where he getting his stuff from. So I said, oh, I know that person too. I'm finna go around him. So this is for personal use at first. You know what I'm saying? It was for personal use. But in everything, I think about how to make money with it. So um, I found out where his plug was. So I went and talked to the plug. So he became my plug. And I stopped dealing with the other dude. He was like, hey, man, what's up, man? You ain't buying from me no more. I was like, no, I'm straight, man. I'm straight. So I went around him and started getting my own stuff. So he asked me one day, I'm smoking just for regular. And he was like, man, do you sell? And I said, no. Uh, mind you, this is a long time ago. So like I said, if you're watching it, I'm just telling my story. But I was like, no, I ain't on that because I didn't know nothing about it, selling and all that stuff. I said, So he kept asking me. I said, okay, man, I guess I will. I guess I'll go and give it a try. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Oops, I got somebody in the room. Let me see if I can add them to the. Let's see. Okay.
What up?
What's happening, Captain? Okay, there it is. I'm just starting off telling my story about, I started on the home life and now I'm on the street life talking about, I was just telling my story. Let me finish this story, then I'll get back to you right quick. But anyways, he kept asking me, hey man, do you want to sell? You want to sell? And I said, I don't know nothing about selling, man. I'm green. So I just gave in one time. He gave me 2 pounds. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with all this weed. So my brother, which was my twin, he was in the streets. He knew. So I'm showing off to him and all this stuff. And he talking about some, hey man, what you ain't this ain't you, man. What is you doing? He said, this ain't. I was like, don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. So for weeks and weeks and months toward he was robbing me, but he was teaching me a lesson. He was robbing me every day. And I'm like, come on, man, this stuff ain't equaling up, man. And he was like, he just kept robbing me. And then I just put it in my head. That's how I really learned to sell is I got robbed so much that I said, okay, I need to go get me some scales and learn how to put these on the digits and get the right number. So after I finally did that, he was like, I was teaching you a lesson. You ain't got no business out here in these streets, anyways. So I was teaching you a lesson. So that was just a story I was telling them about, that street life and that fast money, how it come fast and stuff, and how you start. Like I was telling them, I started with the weed before I graduated to the other stuff. But you got any stories about how your duality, the street life and your regular life, how put it together or keep it separate, or was you even doing that?
Yeah, man. When I was, why I hear myself twice? Oh, I got my Bluetooth on. Anyway, uh, I used to go to school, and I was good in school. I did my homework, answered questions, did the test. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I remember like my senior year in high school, I used to do my son in California. His mom, she used to sit behind me in American history. I used to do her homework, give her answers to the test.
Hmm.
She thought I was a nerd, man. Like she really did, because I was always talking in class and just all over the place. She was in like almost all of my class, like 6 out of 8 periods. She was in my classes, and like I was just always. They didn't know. Like a lot of people didn't know what I did, but I used to come to school and I used to sell. I used to sell bud in school. I used to. I didn't
Mm.
even sell it. I would front it out to people. I give it
Oh,
to them. I pretty much like here. Just give me the money by Thursday. You know what I'm
right.
saying? They kind of was like, dang, I really don't want it, but I do. But all right. So one day she came down, uh, and it was like a bunch of people down there, and then I seen the dude, you know what I'm saying? I was on the side, I was, you know what I'm saying, I was selling hard on the side. Like this is what
Ooh,
I did after school. Like this is what I did every day after school. Like I was really in the streets doing it. Like so dude owed me some money and I seen him coming out of somebody's house with somebody else. They was like, I'm like, hold on, man, you owe me some money, man. And he said something, and I slapped him in his face. A grown man, I slapped him in his face. Then me and a couple of my dudes, we jumped on him, like we just beat him, like kicked him in his. I mean, we just beat him up. And she seen me do that, and she was like, "What?" Like the whole time, she literally told me years later she thought I was a nerd. Like
mm,
she thought I was a geek. She didn't know I really had it in me like that. But nobody at school did. Like I still went to church, man. I used to go to church. I used to go to Sunday school, YPH. I was still going. I was still helping in the church all the time. But um, I didn't really. It's not like I wasn't really selling dope. I was just delivering it. Pretty much with somebody. I knew somebody was coming. I was going, giving it to them, and getting $5 off a sale. So at the end of the week, I might have like $40 in my pocket. But during the week, I've ate Al's Pizza 7 different times. You know what I'm saying? I went to school
right.
and bought my own lunch.
The money back then was different than the money, the increments. Like $5 back then was a lot of
Yeah,
money.
you
Go
could
to
me and my
Taco
boys could
Bell,
eat. We could
yeah.
eat.
You can go to Taco Bell and buy
Yeah.
out the bar. You did what I'm saying?
And it was kind of like when we was doing it, it was kind of when I was doing it, it wasn't like it was bad. It's like I knew what I was doing, but it wasn't nothing because it was so many people using it. It was like you had to have it. I mean, you walk down the street. I'm a kid in high school. I walk down the street. It's 12, 13 drug addicts at a time walking around, coming in and out of the house and through the alleys and there. And they're like, where's your brother? Where's your cousin? You know what I'm saying? Where's this? Who's this? Can I get there? Like, man, and then after a while, it's to the point where I was just like, here. He was like, man, here, dude coming down here, get this to him and bring me this back. And then boom, I didn't have to ask my mom them for lunch money. You know what I'm saying? And then I started having to do other stuff. I would have to buy clothes and leave it at somebody else's house because I couldn't keep popping up with new shirts. Now at my house, now my mom knows she ain't bought that shirt.
See what I was. That's where we getting into the duality of the home life and the good life. Me, you see, you was younger than me. See, I didn't start until I was like, man, 25. Like, and I was like, I started when I was like 25, and I was doing it because I seen my uncles doing it, and I've had that pie in my eye since youth. When I used to go to the summers and go to Lima, and I see my uncles and them, they got cars, they got jewelry, they got everything, and I'm like, I want what they got. So I started late. So, but I'm saying that money, I became, I started going state to state doing stuff, and I was going with it was just me and Tori. I wouldn't trust nobody. I didn't do it. I never been to jail, never been to prison, never been pulled over by the police, nothing. I was so, my parents was like so well known in the community, my dad, that the police wouldn't even, but I'm gonna tell you one story. Hilltop Apartments. If you from around here, you know the Hilltop. I used to go up to Hilltop every single day for like a year. And I had scales in my car and pounds of weeds in my car. Did no police pull me over. I used to sit up there all the time. And then they finally put cameras in up there. And the lady, she called me in the office and she was like, because she knew my mom, she was like, why are you on the hilltop every day? You're up there every day. We see you up there. What's going on? Do you? I said, I got family up here, And I said, I'm in college online and I'm up here visiting my family and stuff. But I was up there selling every single
Up there
day.
getting free Wi-Fi.
I boy, every single day. And I'm like, this it became so easy, but I got greedy. I wanted more money. And then that's when I start messing with the heart. And I'm like, when I start seeing the different clientele, like the weed heads and the crack heads, I hate to call them that, but it's crack. So we gave crack heads. But when I start doing that, the money came so fast it scared me. When I say it scared me, like I can have $2 or $3,000 in my pocket just like it ain't nothing. And this is another thing. I was grown. No, I wasn't. I didn't have to go home or none of that stuff. But I was married, so my home life start interfering. I mean, my street life start interfering with my home life because my wife was like, "Where are you? When you coming home?" And she was like, "Your daughter doing this, and you ain't nowhere to be found." Boy, I started doing some stuff like it's just it leads you further. I used to say, the devil will take you farther than you want to go, and keep you longer than you want to stay. And
Listen.
that's exactly what it was doing, man. I'm telling you, it was. And when people hear me talk like this, or they hear me, they don't know me for that because I kept a low profile. You didn't know what I was doing. I'm telling you, like my mom and dad, when they found out, they were so disappointed. My mom was like, nah, y'all wasn't doing that. You wasn't doing your parents would be the first ones to say my kids is this and my kids is that. We never disrespected them in the community by disrespecting any adults or anything. I was a nightlife person. I ain't let you know what I was doing. I did all my dirt at nighttime.
I did my dirt in the daytime, nighttime, noon, the morning. It didn't
It's the
matter,
right time.
man. And what's so crazy is, I kind of grew up in a lot. I grew up in a life of crime, for real, for real. Like I can go far back and remember, like the police, like Lieutenant Shepard, Chuck Shepard. I don't like that. I don't care for that dude at all. I don't care. Yeah, I'll say his name on camera. He was a dirty cop, man. He used to shake us down. We'd be playing football outside, like me and my cousins and my brothers. We all playing tackle football on the street with people down the street, and they talking about us a fight going on, and they come down there and shake us all down, make us sit down on the ground and or stand, and you know what I'm saying, want to pat us down and stuff. I'm like 7, 8 years old, like getting sit on the curb, sit down, turn around, like quit talking, like you know what I'm saying, like some stuff you see in the movie. It's
Hmm.
like, bro, like the reason I am the way I am is because where I grew up, I owned where I grew up. Like people say that, no, I lived next door to my grandma. My uncle lived down the street, and both my aunts lived down to the other side, the other street. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of us. It was 9 boys. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 brothers and I had 7 other boy cousins. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And 4 female cousins. And we all lived on the street. And then when my cousins would come in town, they would come. It'd be 30 of us on, you know what I'm saying? Minimum, at the least 16 of us at one time in 4 or 5 different houses
That
for a
was
whole summer, every other weekend. You know what
Y'all
I'm saying?
street was the hot street. I mean, people that didn't even live in Shelby County, when they came into Shelby County, they knew the 2 streets. If it ain't the 400 block, uh, um, Jefferson, it's Park Street. That
700 block.
700 block. So you knew them 2 streets, you gonna have some action on them 2 streets. And it used to be like I just went up and down the street the other day, man, and I just said all the destruction that the drugs cause and families breaking them up, people getting on drugs, people going to prison, people dying. Like it, I'm telling you, man, like that street life, it's a mug, man. That's all I can say. Like it didn't tore so many families. I mean, it start off, everybody, everybody know it start off well. Cause you catching that money, man, and it's coming so fast. But
Yeah.
nobody has no financial literacy to know what to do with that money, even though it's ill-gotten gains. A lot of
It's hard to
money,
keep it when you get it like that.
that's true. But to even have the mind frame to change and do something different, because politicians and people in our city, they have got ill-gotten gains of taxes, stealing from money,
I mean, money
fraud,
from people they bust. That's how they get it.
and exactly. So
They
they've
catch
got
you with 100,000 and say you had 20.
exactly. So um it's a catch 22 sometimes, man, but um it's also a mind frame. When you out there, you feel invincible. I remember I used to have so much money in my pocket. You know, when you got so much money, you don't never be hungry. You ever notice that when you had
Yeah.
I'm never hungry, and I can buy anything that I
Yep.
want to
You
buy.
you don't you ain't got a taste for nothing.
Nothing. I'm like, when you ain't got $1 in your pocket, you say, "Man, I wish I could have this. I wish I could have that." And traveling up and down, I'm like, I'm waiting on my gas tank to go down from. I'm like, I'm ready to fill it up again. I got a pocket full of money,
Yep.
rental cars, hotel rooms. Like it was just crazy, man. Like I mean,
That's the thing about having money like that is the money like that makes even like even on the flip side, like when I could have a pocket full of goodies. I could
mhm,
have the best goodie pack ever, but I never get accomplished what I go to get accomplished because once I get into it, I find myself knowing what I'm doing is completely wrong. That's the worst part of when I was in my addiction is the spirit of God was on me so strong that every time I would get high, I would be the most uh understanding of who God is. Like it's crazy because people get high and get drunk and start talking about God and people be thinking they tripping. But I'm telling you, you don't know God until you are so spaced out of your mind that you know for a fact, like for me, it's like you get to a point where you're in a spiritual place where you're like, God, you gotta be real. Cause what I'm feeling right now is absolutely bananas. And my choice of narcotics, you could almost do it until you know what I'm saying? They lie to you. Nobody's ever died. Nobody has ever listen, you probably can have a heart attack off cocaine, but if you have a heart attack off cocaine, it's not like you didn't know it was gonna happen. It's not like you snort it or smoke it and it happens. Up to that point, you've done so much, your body's gonna tell you. That's one, you know what I'm saying? Your heart's gonna keep telling you, bro, you're not gonna be able to consume it.
you're
But
doing too
what
much.
it but what it is, it's not that you're trying to do it. You're in this paranoid reality. You're so scared out of your mind that everything is real. That's the thing about it. You go beyond all the mind. It's like you go through all these different layers, like, and then you come to this place where everything's still in your mind, and you know you so whacked out of your mind that the reality is that you are on something that has you completely out of your mind, and you need to get yourself together. And then you're constantly running from it because you're scared. You're so scared. You're like terrified. And you don't know what to do. So it's like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like this crazy, vicious cycle, man. And it's so bananas, like, you know what I'm saying, with the money. You got all this money, you can spend it, but you're never really happy, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't know what to do. You go to the mall, you just walk around the mall. You know, you go to the food court and everything look good, but you don't eat nothing.
Or
So
you have so much money, you like it just disappears. And I'm like when I was doing what I was doing, my wife was like, because I wasn't working then. I wasn't working. I was in the streets, and I was like, I got all this money. I can pay all the bills and all this stuff, but I didn't pay the bills. And I'm like, where is my money at? But when it's my home life, when it's time to pay bills and stuff, I didn't have any money. But when I take trips, I'm down in Georgia, I'm in Atlanta and everything. I'm taking everybody out to eat.
yeah,
Everybody every day. I'm like, what? How do I got money? But when it's my responsibilities, I ain't got nothing. I'm like, where's all my money at? it was weird, man. It was so weird, man. I'm like, what is this life you live in, man? Like, do you want this life or do you want that? Like, I'll give you an example about my brother. He used to come to my house, and my brother, I had bedrooms and beds he could sleep in, but he would never sleep in a bed, and he would always sleep. He'd go in one room and get on the floor and go to sleep. And he'd be in there snoring and stuff. And I'm like, how can he sleep on the floor? So I woke him up one time. I said to her, I said, bruh, get up in the bed. He was like, I'm straight right here. And I said, how do you sleep on the floor like that? He said, I'll tell you this. He said, I'm at my brother's house. I feel safe. He said, I don't have to worry about sleeping with one eye open. He said, I don't have to worry about nobody going in my pockets. He said, I'm safe. So I can sleep anywhere. And that just blew my mind one time. And then another time I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get out here in the streets with you. He said, you stupid, man. He said, you stupid. He said, I want your life and you want my life. He said, do you think I'll have fun running up and down this highway? He said, yeah, I'll be on Facebook or I'll be calling you, telling you I'm here, telling you there. He said, I don't get no sleep. None. He said,
No.
I'm worried about who gonna try to rob me. If I'm doing some deals with people, is they gonna try to stick me up? He said, you trying to be out here in my place and I want to be in your place. So that's again the dualities of the street life and the home life.
Man, being out there, like being in the throes of your addiction, man, is like you're always in a horror movie, man.
Mm,
You're always in a horror movie, and the worst part of it. Like everything, you're scared. You're scared when you go cop. You're scared right before you get ready, before you get high. You get high, you're cool for a few seconds, then you're scared. Then you're like scared while you're getting high. You scared of the people you getting high with. The police might be in there. Somebody might be trying to rob you. You scared to go to the bathroom because you want to leave your drugs on the counter. You don't want to take all your drugs to the bathroom with you. You scared to pull your pants down because something might happen when you in there. You scared to turn the light on because some, you know what I'm saying? All these different fears, and it's constantly going through your mind the whole time. And all you trying to do is get somewhere where you can get high. But as soon as you get high, you scared because you high.
mm.
And now you got to get away from this scared feeling to try to enjoy your high, but you can't ever do that because one thing leads to the next. And then and then after you so gone so long, the psychosis become real, and this becomes your habit and who you are, and it becomes your high. So every time you get high, it's the same recurring Groundhog Day nightmare. You get a
Same when
you
you
get a
same when you selling.
yep.
The same you scared when you selling to somebody. Is this an undercover? Well, when you get the money, I got so much money. Is they gonna try to come and rob me? It's like, or when I go re up, is they gonna try to get me? You know what I'm saying? Boy, wouldn't have so many. Man, I went to Dayton one time trying to re up. Man, no, this not my area. I'm from the Bean, so but the D had the best stuff, so I'm down here. And I walked in this place, man. I said, Corey, you ain't got no business going in there. And I went in there and they shut the door behind me. And I said, okay. I said, this it for me. I said, I ain't have no business down here. So what's been finna happen to me is finna been, I said, Lord, if you don't let them kill me, I said, just let them rob me. And when he shut the door, all these dudes came out of every room. And I'm like, I can't fight all these dudes. And then they start shaking my hand and sitting down, talking about that was I got the plug right there. But in that moment, I thought it was over, man. I said, Lord, please just don't let them kill me. Just let them rob me. You know what I'm saying? But that life you live in is always in the back of your mind. I'm going to jail. Somebody gonna kill me or something. Or I might even decide to partake in my own drugs. You dig what I'm saying?
So the
So
worst part with me was this. Like I was always in a spiritual battle. People didn't know that, man. Like I was fighting demons in my mind. Like I could, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be in a room full of people. They don't understand what I'm going through. I can visually and physically and spiritually see it happening. Like I'm seeing my world being destroyed. Like I can literally hear like the longer I'm out and the higher I am and the worse off that I am is the more audible is the Satan's voice would get. I would hear him. hear him saying, like, you know what I'm saying, hear him talk. I'd be watching the movie, but the words that's coming out of the movie is not that. It's just the
Mm.
psychosis, like laughing at me, saying, "Look at you, you're gonna mess yourself up. That's why you're gonna die. You destroying yourself. Look at you, like, you know what I'm saying? Just I could hear it plain as day, as plain as you can hear me. I could hear that in my head, and the whole time, all running from that. You know what I'm saying? Running from that, chasing down freedom from something that got me captive.
Man,
And it's like, dude, when you're in your head and you're seeing it, like, and you're seeing it and feeling the fear. You can feel the fear. It's a physical feeling, sick in the stomach. You know what I'm saying? Just sick to the stomach all the time and afraid. Like, like, like if somebody come to your house right now and kick your door hard as they can, that feeling you feel in your gut. Imagine feeling that all the time.
because I already know how I feel because it happened. Somebody kicked in my door before, and I thought I was gonna have to kill somebody, but I know that feeling, man. That's like a feeling that the normal person don't see. That's, man, I'm telling you, man, that I'm telling you, that street life and that all coincides. Selling drugs, doing drugs, all that coincides with that street life part. And like my biggest fear was disrespecting my parents and going to jail and prison. All the stuff my mom and dad taught me and stuff. And I said, I cannot be, but it calls you. Like drugs call you, the streets call you. They like, come on out here, man. You ain't gonna get in no trouble tonight. Come on, just come over here, sell this, sell that. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. So God, He always He's always in there. And this one person, they saved me so many times, man. And they just went out and did all the work for me. So I didn't have to get my hands dirty. Um, and they just did all the work for me. I was like, God, I see you trying to curve me to get back to where I need to be, man, because this ain't the life I'm supposed to be living. And he just, at every turn, man, he didn't let nothing go wrong with me. Um, he ain't let me bump my head none, man. So I thank God for that. I'm telling you, like,
I am like I'm telling you, man. It's like, man, my grandpa told us. He told us a long time ago we was gonna get in trouble. We was bad. He told my cousin Bert, he definitely going. He said that little sea sucker going to jail. My mom used to hate. My grandpa used to call us that sea sucker word, boy. I mean, he said it all the time, and he used to tell. He was My grandpa was the meanest dude you'd ever meet. He didn't care. He hit you. He hit you with a stick, a rock, a bat. He hit Tyrone one time with a whip. Hit
mm,
him across his face. No, he hit him with a stitcher cord across his face. He had a little box. Tyrone was mocking him. He was talking. He was running his mouth. That's why he used to call us bad. He grabbed that stitcher cord and just slung it. Boy, Tyrone got hit in his eyes. He used to call him Tyron. He hit
mm.
him across Corey across his face with the brown stitcher cord. You know,
Yeah,
man, listen,
I'm quite
we all
familiar with I'm
we
quite familiar with that.
Handy's arm was coming back. It was a couple of us on the couch. We all sat back, and the only head that was in the area.
Ooh.
Yep. But we got older, man. It was like stuff started happening, man. The next thing you know, people started going to jail. And I'll never forget, man. This is so crazy. I was gonna go to the Marines, man, and I went to Piqua and took my ASVAB, and I failed my ASVAB by 2 points.
Mm,
I think I got like a 25, and I was supposed to get a 27, or a 27, and I was supposed to get a 29. I'll never forget it. And I was hurt because I wanted to go. My plan was to go to the Marines, become a military police officer, and come back to Sydney and be a cop. But I had plans on being a dirty cop. Like, I was going to, pull girls over instead of giving them a speeding ticket. I was going to get with them. You know what I'm saying? I was planning on letting my brothers or my homeboys, what they doing, what they doing. I was on some, I was going to be a good cop and a bad cop at the same time, because
okay, okay.
just in my mind, I'm out in high school already playing this stuff out. But I really wanted to go to the military, just go. So one day I came home, I stopped at Flint's, and I got a movie and a game. I forget what movie it was, but I got a movie and a game, and I was coming around the corner by the library, and I never forget this. Blake Money pulled up, and Blake said, "Connor, they got everybody, man." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Man, they got everybody, man. They got everybody." He was crying. I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Man, they got your brother. They got everybody. They got Snoop." I'm like, "What?" I took off running fast as I could, man. I was running. Couldn't breathe, man. I'm from the library to my mom's house. The fastest I ever ran in my life. Got in the house, breathing gasoline on fire.
Mm.
My mom was there. She was like, "Boy, they got everybody. They cleaned." That's when everybody got busted after Wilma got killed. They busted
Mm.
everybody that day. I was coming home from school and I sat upstairs, and in my mind, I said, "Man, I was at school. They coming to get me." So I'm like, man, I'm thinking like I'm just gonna go down and turn myself in because I'm thinking to myself, I gotta go to jail too because everybody else in jail. I'm gonna go to jail. You know, I'm still in high school. I'm thinking like this is where I go to jail. I'm gonna go locked up. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna be big. In my mind, I'm thinking you just go to jail and you get muscles. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I see Yob leave. Yob came home. He was 270. I'm like, oh, you just go to jail and muscles come. I didn't know you had to really do push-ups.
Right, right. Is that
I'm
when they
saying,
had that yellow sign up?
yeah, that's when they put the billboard up.
Oh my goodness. Boy, they put
So
everybody's name on that
yeah,
mug.
and that's when it was weird to me because everybody left, and I didn't
Mm.
have no brothers. I didn't have no big brothers. Robin was already in prison, and I didn't have no big. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no big brothers,
Mm.
and everything started changing, and it was like after that, stuff just got wild, and it was like at that point I was ready to be something else. I didn't want to do what I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, everybody going to jail. But it was like, man, everybody out here, it's open season. It's 500 zombies out here, and don't nobody got nothing. And I know where the
Man,
stash is at. So it was
right,
me and a couple homeboys from across the side of town. We had to link. It was like the youngsters had to link up to figure the
right.
city out. All
Hey.
the kingpins locked. It's open season, big money. So man, Sydney became an open. It was weird because they had busted. Then they had busted. It was like 25 people, and
Mhm.
it was all the big dogs. It was everybody that was selling. It was where everybody was getting. The little people was getting it from. So it turned into the wild, wild west.
What year was that? Was that 90?
90 93. I was still in high school when that happened.
That was I went to Job Corps in 93, and they got my uncle.
I'm pretty sure I was still in I was a junior in high school. It was my junior year going it was my senior year. I know Tyrone was out of school because he had already got kicked out. He was at home.
That was
Snoop was
like
out. Snoop quit. Snoop had already quit, and I was still in school, and I was a senior. Yeah, that was 93, 94.
okay,
Because
because
it was
my
before,
uncle he went in 90 or 91.
because Wilma passed away, and was that
I
95,
was in school. That was 94, I think. The end of
94,
middle of the
95.
middle of 94, because I remember when they came in
That
and
would have
got,
been I was already graduated. Or I
yeah,
might have, because I graduated
95.
in 94.
95 was my graduation year, but
So it was your
even though I
beginning of
didn't
your senior
graduate,
year.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was that
'cause I
something like
was,
the spring or something, the summer or whatever. After
yeah,
you already started school.
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember because when it happened, I might have still been in school, bro. Because
Uh,
I remember the day. I remember the day she left. I talked to her. I was coming home from school, man. I'm pretty sure I was coming home from school. I was coming home. I came around the corner on East Street, on
it
the
was
Jefferson Street.
90. It was 90. I had got out of Job Corps, and they wouldn't release my records from Chicago, so I had to repeat the grade over it. I was so mad, and um, that was 94, because I remember I was sitting at the lunch table, and Bear was in there with me, and he was sitting right beside me, and they came in, and somebody whispered in his ear, and he started crying, and he got up and left. So that was 94. I remember that. Yeah, but that was,
Yeah, it was 94. Yep.
yep,
Yeah,
it was
94.
94.
Because because I said when I came around, I was coming home from school, bruh. Never forget, I was coming home from school. Came off East Street, right there. Didi lived at 405. She was coming out, getting ready to get into the doggone van that had happened in. And I said something to her. She said something. I'll see you later on. And they pulled off. And that was the last time I seen her. Because
Mm,
that day, Snoop, Steve, Franklin, and Tyrone, we went to the Salem Mall. And we
mm.
went to the Salem Mall and we toured the mall. I never forget, we went to the mall and spent
Steve Woo, did you say Brandenburg?
Steve Brandenberry, sticking Steve Brandenberry.
I
We
ain't
was
seen him in a
we
minute.
had a cold-blooded week that week. We was doing our thing. We all went down and we all had money. I remember I had money that day because I
Mm.
was going with Tyrone, so I had to have a little money on me, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
We
right,
went to the
right.
mall, we toured, we came home, it was dark. It was getting dark. We came home, we pulled up across the street from Didi's house, from Snoop's house, where they used to be the bushes at by where the big green garage next to my Aunt Gertha's house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As soon as we pull up, we get out, man. And I'm telling you, the cops jumped out the bushes, man. Jumped out the bushes, off the telephone pole, slid down the roof, came out of the trees. Freeze, get out, Tyrone, put your hands up, da da da. They taking our bags, took our clothes, dumped our clothes out. They arrested
Mm,
Tyrone. It was the feds, the Sydney police, sheriffs, Pickwood detectives. It was like 40 cops on. They had been waiting all day for us to pull up because they arrested Tyrone. They had arrested a bunch of people in town, and the feds was downtown questioning everybody. We didn't know what was going on. We're like,
mm.
what was going on? Come to find out that had happened earlier that day.
Oh man.
You know, that's when they had found out. And and
I remember.
the whole time to talk about the duality at home, I'm still doing my homework, bro. I'm still participating in talent shows at school, dancing and shucking and jiving. I'm still going to the spring dance. I'm still going to basketball games. I got a girlfriend. Actually, I had two girlfriends, but I'm doing boyfriend girlfriend stuff. You know what I'm saying? Every day without nobody knowing. I got a car. I'm so hot. My homeboy Big Mike was dropping me off at school because we was doing so much, and we had so much going on. He had to take my car, he dropped me off at school because somebody broke in my car trying to get my work. So he had to keep
Mm,
my car all day and come pick me up from school. And then people at school started, because my brother gave me a car. He bought a car, put some rims on it. It was an old school car with some bang in it. And then my senior year, that's when I started letting my chest hang. That's why I didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? It was like to the point, but I still had a curfew, bro. That's what people don't understand. I still had a curfew. I'm
wow.
out here selling crack cocaine, smacking people, having consensual sex and some, you know what I'm saying, with different women, unprotected, some protected. Actually, I was actually stealing condoms and selling them. I'm telling you what, I'm doing all of this, but I still was in the house at curfew or else because I knew my dad would put his hands on me.
Man, ain't that
Senior in
something?
high school with a 10 o'clock curfew, even on the weekends.
Living a grown man life.
Man, I'm out here. I got money in my pocket. I'm saying so I can pay rent
For sure, for
and
sure.
be upstairs mad, eating my sandwich in my room with the TV turned down. Huh? Matter of fact, I'm turning it off because I'm running the electricity bill up.
Man,
Lay down
what?
and go to bed.
But that respect, though, man, that's why you did it, or you could, because could have been disrespectful. But
But on
um,
the flip, this another flip to all that. I got a mom and a dad in the house. I got aunts and
so
uncles. I got a grandma, right? I didn't come from no lost, loose family. I came from where my uncle come in from Chicago and whooped me.
that's
I had
village,
uncles, like uncles that knew, like my uncle Willie was active in our lives. You know what I'm
village,
saying? Like
it's a
my
village.
uncle Willie, my uncle Willie came up here from Chicago almost every other weekend, man. I seen him frequently. I seen him enough to where he could just walk in the house. Like it wouldn't even surprise me to see Uncle Willie and his 7 kids. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
how our folks was. They moved to Chicago. They would come from Chicago, Georgia, Fort Wayne, and you would get a whooping from them for
Yeah.
you disrespecting your parents. Like that's how close families was. Like you said, that people don't understand that you had two Christian going um, parents,
Working.
and you was out in the streets,
And both my parents worked first
unbeknownst to
shift.
them, doing what you was doing.
man, look, and then it got to the point where they knew what was going on. Um, what keep making noise in here? Um, but it was like it was so big, it was so much going on. It's kind of like, what can you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it when they by the time it got revealed, it was on a major level. Not me. You know what I'm saying? Bro was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? He was on a whole nother level. And it was to where, you know, the whole community knew it. You
yeah,
know, because there was an article, they wrote an article one time and they was like, you know, Sydney is like a little Chicago
yeah.
and Tyrone McGee is Al Capone.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
It was like
remember.
what people a lot of people don't know about my brother, man, is allegedly he did what he did. He, you know what I'm saying? He served, you know what I'm saying, his time, did his debt to society. But my brother never carried a gun, ever. My brother had a gun, but my brother did not carry a gun. He's never pulled a gun on them. Well, he pulled a gun on he did pull a gun out. Let me refrain that. That's that's a fact. That was one of my first cases was a
Mm,
submachine Uzi uh charge.
mm.
Yeah, that's that's a story if you want that story. That's a whole story. But and it's crazy that my brother did all that he did with no violence. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't going down and getting nickel and diamond. He wasn't going down and getting no weekend packs. I'm talking he was getting generational wealth.
I know what he
You
was
know what I'm
getting.
saying?
I
With
know.
without with no ratchet.
That's
But
I
so
told
so
you.
so it's like it's even in your wickedness, God even protect you in your wickedness because if you got to determine the destination and something to do from him, and that's not where you're supposed to die. Like when you thought you was going to die in that room, that wasn't your time.
Yep. Yep.
Because for him to do all that he did and to never to be touched, not that it was being okayed, but it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Because we
It's
found out after
understandable. It's understandable because, like you said, like my uncle, he was major, but he didn't do no violence. Not a bit of violence. That's why he was able to get out because he was non-violent. He did 26 years, but he didn't no violence. So and he was a major. He was major.
and
So
that's what I used to tell brother is like crazy because it's like all that time being in there is the worst thing in the world, but it's like out here you'd have been dead, guaranteed, or you would be in there until you die because you'd have had to do something to somebody out here. And then you got to think about all the lives that you affect, all the lives that you save because you're being used because everybody like that dude. You can't not like him. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? And then the people that you talking to, the young crash outs that's going to be in and out, you going to have a chance to put something in them that might change them, that they can change the trajectory of their life to where they don't die. Now their children can have a father. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you where you at. It's the best way you can look at it. You're there. You're like a go between from them losing their life because you know you ain't going nowhere. So God gonna use you to be there to where they come through. They can be like, man, I remember. They might not even remember your name, but something you gonna say to them or the example you gonna give them will have them. You know what I'm saying? Doing better in life and understanding who God is and not having to be where you at. You know, even if it's one person that'll be
and
worth it. You know what I'm saying? All the time that you sat in there because of all the dirt that you did, this is like equal, you know, like I was telling you earlier, you know what I'm saying? I always look at it like, what happened to me? Why did I, you know what I'm saying? I had to carry that. So now where I'm at now, so somebody that's on the back end can see that it's possible that there is a future.
that
Hold
wasn't
on
your
while you in the
path.
mess.
Everybody says that that's my path that I had to take to do. No, that's the path that you
You
chose. So
chose. Yep.
God just rendered but that's not the path He chose for you. But since you chose that, because we got free will,
Yep.
He rendered it so you can stay safe and stay alive, so you can come out on the other side and give your story on this side.
Yeah. Cause it goes with something I agree with, and it's like kind of a contradictive because God will use and can use anybody, And it makes me mad because I get upset thinking about some of the people that we think was being used or seemed to be used, like Bishop Eddie Long. All that time he doing all that preaching, he was doing all that wrong, and people want to defend him. Oh, God, he used it. See, I don't believe that a holy God would use something that vain and profane to do something for him that long. You understand what I'm saying? It
I
wouldn't take. It
understand.
wouldn't take. You know what I'm saying? Why would he allow? Why would he allow so much destruction to other people senselessly? What point? What you know what I'm saying? Like I think, like, what point would he make by letting that continue to happen to so many people for so long? To be an example for them to help somebody. Like he don't need all this help. He don't need all them people have doing
I
all that help. You know
always
what I'm saying? So
always say this, man. My name is Henderson. Everybody ain't a Henderson. So you can act like you a Henderson or you can be hanging around the Henderson, but everybody ain't a Henderson.
right.
So everybody ain't a child of God. So you
Yeah,
can say you a child of God, but your attributes don't speak. So everybody, the Bible, you can say Lord, Lord,
man.
but
I don't know you.
depart from me, you workers of iniquity. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. We just have to rightly divide situations, like the Bible says, rightly divide the word. But if you analyze stuff, you can see. Because I'm gonna tell you, like this is for another story. But I'm just saying, like the stuff I learned growing up after I got to a certain age, and the stuff I seen, and the people, like you said, you supposed to be this, but when the lights turn off, you that. Mm, I'm gonna leave that alone, but that's for another time. We've been on here long. Ooh, it's 56 minutes in. I was waiting on my guy to come on, one of my favorite gospel rappers. I got down with him and he was supposed to jump on. I did a podcast with him,
Who's
but it
that?
got me his name is Prime Minister.
Yeah, I don't know him.
He I guess his wife, he live out in California, but his
Oh,
wife
oh,
his wife probably he was doing something for his wife. But anyways, um, man, we didn't got 2 hours in together. This one about
yeah.
57 minutes. The other one is an hour.
I mean, we can
But
actually just set it up, man. We can have this like a regular show, like where it's not just, you know what I'm saying? We can change
I'm
it to
with it
something else. You know what I'm saying? And then we can me and you can have people come on and then we can like host and co-host. You know how you know
there.
what I'm saying?
There he is, Prime
Look,
Minister.
talked him up, huh?
What's up, brother? Hold on, let me throw him up.
Teriyaki sauce. But anyway, what's going on?
Man,
Hey,
what's
what's up?
going on?
Blessings,
We
bro.
we we on the tail end. We on the tail end of that duality, man, of that street life and that regular life, man.
So,
I
so
know
what,
you
what,
know
what?
about it
I definitely do. I definitely know about that regular life and that street life. It comes a point, man, where we just got to grow up. You know?
for sure, for sure. That's where
Yeah.
we at. We on the tail end of it. We was talking about the fast life, the fast money, and all
Thank
that
you.
stuff.
Yeah. Hold on for a minute.
Okay, I got
I was just, yeah, I was just picking up an order. So
you. Okay.
anyway, the street life, man. I know about both of those, but now that I'm grown, man, and got my kids and grandkids, and then lived that life, did that life, man. I've learned a lot. I learned, first of all, ain't no loyalty in the streets. I don't care what nobody say.
For sure.
And you can play all you want to. You can talk about your boys all you want to. All you want to. You can talk about. I've been in the game. I knew that when everything hit deep and when everything hit hard, when you looking at time, bro, everybody abandon you, man.
For sure. Hey, he's one of the ones, right? Him right here. We need to get back on here with him because his story about that with how he got saved and all that stuff, and when he was out there in the streets, he got a story to tell, man. I'm telling you, you Prime. I'm talking about you. I'm
Yeah,
talking about you.
definitely, man. Man, God brought me a long way, man. I done did it all, man. I was arrested for war mob action. war mob action, attempted murder. War mob. I had war mob action was a class X felony, man.
Mm.
A
Wait
lot of
now,
people ain't heard of that,
that's
but
that
it was
alphabet. That's,
yeah, it was designed for the mafia. But anyway, I
Mm.
caught that case. War mob action. Um, Man, I've been through it all, man. Chief of violation, for the vice lords. Um, that so dope, did dope, man, dude. The streets is hard. The streets is hard, man. And I don't see why we acclimate ourselves to want to be in the streets. I do know I gotta be fair though. Um, a lot of times, like I grew up, that's all I knew. That's all I was acclimated to. And it was what was happening. The girls thought it was cute. You was in the gang. That you belonged to something. So that's why we did what we did, and we wanted to make get respect from other brothers. That's why we gang bang and we fought each other and stuff like that, and all over a territory or block or something that didn't even belong to us in the first place. But what happens though, man? The street life is a big facade. It's a big facade. It's nothing in it. I don't know not one successful gang member. I don't know one successful dope dealer. Nobody successful in that life. Nobody.
Mm-mm.
You either gonna wind up in jail, 6 feet, or you're gonna turn around and give your life to Christ and live a prosperous life like I did.
Yeah, you in your birthday present. Is you in your birthday
Yeah.
present?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I'm in the birthday present right now.
when was your
Yeah.
birthday?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
in the birthday present right now. So, but
When was your
yeah,
birthday?
His wife got him a pen.
February 13th.
February 13th.
Yeah, February 13th. My wife blessed me with this beautiful, beautiful car. But so as far as like I wanted to say this. How I did learn a lot from the streets. I learned a lot. I learned how to think fast, be fast. Uh, my mom was in the hospital when I was 16. She got hit by a car, so that left us to run and fend for ourselves. We ran the streets and did whatever we wanted to do. Um, yeah, that life taught me how to grow up fast. But in the end, when I got arrested for that attempted murder, man, uh, you can forget your friends, man.
For sure.
Anybody listening to this, you can forget your friend. Matter of fact, homie, them same homies, they gonna be after your girl. They gonna
For
be
sure.
after your girl. And that's why I say there's no loyalty in that game, man. That's them same homies. They ain't gonna write you. You might get a couple that may send you a sawbuck or something like that. Put something on your books. But then as time go on, they forget about you. You be forgotten. So why put in work for a people or an organization that's gonna forget about you? When you get over in the penitentiary, when you get over in, you're gonna pick up that same mentality, you're gonna pick up that same group of people, but this time all y'all locked up.
Mm. For sure. For
All y'all
sure.
want to get out. It's just a big facade, and it's just a big a gaping hole for our community, man. The streets is pulling our people here. That's why the rappers they don't rap, they rap about the streets. They glorify the streets. You know why? Because they want you in the streets. They ain't gonna let you see their life. They ain't gonna let you see that they ain't going in the hood. They ain't going nowhere near the hood. They driving around in the best, fanciest car. They sending their kids to private school, but they want you to think they out there selling dope. They want you to think that they the plug. They want you to think all of this crap, man. That's not true. It's all a facade. And if you sleep, you mentally sleep. You get caught up in the chasing something that's nothing. Anyway, that's my take on it, man.
That's what's up. Hey, I'm gonna have to
Look,
get you
see,
back on
man,
here,
you
man.
Man, we got to have a
We're gonna have
whole
to do another one.
series.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's hard to catch up. He a busy man. You busy. I'm busy. But we're gonna have to make time, man. This summertime, I definitely gonna have to make time.
Oh, and I'm so man. I'm for sure, man. I want to make time, man. Matter of fact, that's what I asked God to put on my schedule, man. Um, I wanna do more. Man, communicating, especially with my brothers, man. Man, because ain't nobody really out here telling them anything.
Hey, for
Nothing,
sure.
nothing but the streets tell them everything, but we ain't telling them nothing. I'm sorry, I had to hit that light. I
You
had to
good? You
bust a
good?
move. But the streets ain't the streets, man. Giving them fake, false promises. You know, I want to get out there and give them the truth, expose the truth. I was riding today, and I was thinking about how so many people want to be rappers.
Mm, you're right.
So so many people want to be rappers. You know why? Because they caught up in the facade of it. You know, they
Instant
think
money.
that once they make it, they're gonna live life easy for the rest of their life. That's not even true. You know, man, I done had so much money come through my hands, man.
I
Somehow
know.
it goes. Somehow it goes. And if you ain't got no backup plan, if you ain't got no motivation to do your own business or do what you really love doing. Rapping, I like rapping. I did it because I loved it. But I have a heart for outreach. I like doing outreach. I had a teen center, man, 250 kids. I like doing stuff like that. And I had to get business educated. I had to get all my papers in order and all of that stuff. So these brothers out here trying to be rappers, man, and they'll give up their family, they'll give up their school. They, drop out of school. Oh, I'm gonna make it. Or they go into the studio, and they're not going nowhere with it, man. I mean, being a successful rapper is like you might as well play the lottery.
Yeah.
You might as well play the lottery. That's why you need a backup plan. You need to, what happened to when we used to want to grow up and be doctors and lawyers, when we want to grow up and be in the Senate, stuff like that. Man, we let the world snatch those dreams away and tell everybody you could be a rapper. It's possible. You can live life easy. And they show you all of this money. A lot of them cats ain't even living like that. A lot of them
Bro,
cats don't even own that. I know. I've been around them. A lot of them, man. When they shoot videos, man, and the ones that got the real jewelry is rented, and they got to take it right back after the video shoot, man. This is real stuff. they. I mean, you seen Bow Wow do it. He got caught with rental cars talking about they his. I mean, this is real life, and people want to put that facade out there. Man, get a job, dude. Get a career. Take care of your family. Rapping ain't gonna pay the bills. I guarantee you that. You constantly throwing money out the door, and a lot of y'all garbage anyway. I mean, it
Hey,
is what it is, man.
you ain't
And
lying.
somebody got to tell you.
Somebody got to tell me.
Somebody got to tell you. Anyway, man, brothers, we need to set up a time, man, and I want to bring my brother Antonius on here too, man.
Oh, that's my guy. And Delbert want to get on too.
Oh,
He,
well, we need to have a talk about, man. We need
yep.
hey, set it up, bro. Set it
I'm
up.
gonna
I'm
do it.
there.
I'm gonna do it. I talked to Delbert. I talked to Antonius, and I talked to you. I'm telling y'all, one of some of my favorite rappers, man, for real. And I'm gonna set it up, man. I'm gonna set it up where we can do it good, man, and we can really
I
get
would I
into it.
would I would love to do it, man. I would love to do it. But look, I'm dipping in traffic, man. I got a bunch of food I gotta drop off. I love y'all, man. I'm glad I was able to give my 2 cents, man. Let's set it
Appreciate
up,
you
man.
dropping
Let's
in.
get a chance to talk.
All right, man. Appreciate you dropping in, man.
All
For
Yep.
right,
Nice
sure.
thank you,
meeting you.
my brother. Y'all be
Talk to you,
blessed,
man.
man.
Yep, you
All
too.
right, man. Later on.
All right.
Bye. Hey, see, man, listen. God done blessed me. These brothers these is real gospel rappers that's been around the world. They got they got a lot of fans, and God just blessed me to be, in the presence of them, man. And I'm telling you, we're gonna have to do something, man. We're gonna have to do
Yeah,
something.
it's gonna
You
work
know,
out.
it's gonna work. So, hey, I appreciate y'all stopping by, watching me on the live. If you ain't get a chance to watch it while it's live, go back and watch it, man. Dig what we saying and dig what we talking about, man. I appreciate y'all. This is wise words from a grown man. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, then man, deuces 2 times. Man, y'all already know what it is.